You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hell's Kitchen After Show.
It's getting crazy. Season 12, Hell's Kitchen. 16 chefs compete. Here we go. If you love Hell's Kitchen, this show was created for you. I'm Leo Quinones. Great to be with you, and flanked in studio by my able-bodied co-host, the silver-throated, always grateful, Lem Gonsalves.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
You know, buddy, I don't rarely look past you, but you know what? I'm going to have to look past you because right to my left,
Yes.
look at this.
Yes.
How about this?
I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy.
In the whole billions of people in the world,
Billions.
16 chefs are competing in Hell's
Yes,
Kitchen.
yes.
And one of those 16 chefs right here in studio, the pride of Woodland Hills, Melanie Finch. Melanie, thank you so much for coming on our after show.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me.
Hell's Kitchen. Now, she's telling me, well, by the way, we apologize to the person outside whose car got a little dinged up. You know,
We're gonna talk about that.
Los Angeles.
We're gonna talk about that.
it's a parallel parking thing. We don't have to
Right.
delve too much into it.
Right.
No, but we're glad that you're here.
Yeah.
And we
Glad you're okay too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just fantastic. It is so great to have you in here because we just got the privilege, Lem and I, of watching Hell's Kitchen with an actual competitor. And to us, to the fans watching right now, it just takes it to the next level. So this for you, I guess was around 18 months ago when you filmed this?
Yes, 18 months ago.
How did you get caught up into the world of Hell's Kitchen?
Well, I mean, my mom was always a fan of Hell's Kitchen since season 1, and I always watched with her. And then, actually, when I went to culinary school, I said, my goal is to one day be on Hell's Kitchen. And I just remembered that the other day. I was like, I remember saying that.
Wow.
So I saw a Craigslist ad and said casting for Hell's Kitchen. I figured might as well, you know. Filled out a little application, sent in a little bio, and a couple months later they called me and were like, you want to come audition? So the rest was history.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's pretty dope.
Was it intense?
Yeah, it was really intense. I mean, it's one audition and then another audition, and then you meet the producers, and then they like quiz you and they do a psychology test on you. It's just a lot goes into it.
Do you remember any of the questions that stand out? Because a lot of people that watch this show are on the fence about taking a shot at Hell's Kitchen. So what were some of those psychological questions? How many people have you killed? Have you left someone at the bottom of the lake?
Exactly.
What do they ask you?
I mean, it's pretty basic. They ask you kind of what any bad things you've done in your past that might come up in the future.
And you answered?
I answered, I'm a good girl. I have nothing to hide. Also, it's a lot about, I mean, obviously cooking based. So they show you actually a bunch of pictures of ingredients that you may or may not have worked with before. And back then, I was still kind of young in the field, so I didn't know a lot of the things. So I thought that would definitely be a factor as far as them picking me for the show.
Because you
But-
didn't. Because you didn't know.
Because I didn't know, right. So I left my second audition thinking, oh, they're not going to pick me. But I guess that's what they're looking for. They don't want you to know too much. They don't want you to be, you know, too fresh. But as long as you know something.
All right. Well, we are glad that you're here, and also we have to just take a second to say the acceptance of the show. You know, it's exploded on iTunes in just about every country you can name, and we are so very thankful. It's a free download, so go to it. It's the Hell's Kitchen AfterBuzz show, and it's funny. I just found out that Chef Anton Testino is a big fan of our after show. So
awesome.
Thank you, Chef, and
Yes.
we appreciate that as well.
Most
All right.
definitely.
Well, Lem and I are high strung when we watch Hell's Kitchen.
We are
hanging on every single word. What's it like seeing the edited version? Because you lived it one way and you're seeing it condensed in about 44 minutes. What's that like?
It's really funny because I always know going into the episode, oh, this is that day, we did that. So like when I see, you know, the day our wins, like when the women get to go out and enjoy the day, there's so much more to it that you guys don't get to see, unfortunately. And then the punishments as well, it's like, oh, it was so much longer and worse than that, and you guys only get to see like 5 minutes of it. But just know that it's really bad / really good when it's good.
It's really bad / really good. Well,
When it's good.
I want to jump into the episode, and I want to get into. Of course, we always start off, you know, by some either crazy wake up, or you guys actually get up maybe slightly normal, and then you come into some type of challenge. Typically, as far as how they show it on the air, the challenge was a memory game. And you had a great reaction. Do you remember what that was? You said.
Oh, I said memory games. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not good at memory games.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It took me back, Leo. I don't know about you, but I played that memory game where you had to flip over the little cards.
The cards.
And I immediately thought of that, and I thought it was amazing. But I like that he incorporated that. And you had Rochelle that you actually had to cook with.
Right.
When you guys, how was it like working with her when you guys were actually cooking your dish?
Rochelle's really easy to work with. I actually love her. I enjoyed her on the show more than anyone else. She was really easygoing, and she knew exactly what needed to do. There was no drama whatsoever with her. It was just to the point. Let's get it done. Let's go. Never any negativity. Just always pretty on point. So I liked being paired up with her a lot.
When you said you liked her better than everybody else, what does that do when you have someone who has your back in Hell's Kitchen? What does that do for you?
I mean, right off the get-go, you try to find people that you can like easily connect with and not be in the drama with everybody else. So it was kind of like I try to scope out who was normal
Sure.
and then stick with them. So later in the competition, I can like rely on them to have my back and vice versa. So she and Joy and Bev were the three that I was like, all right, these girls are normal.
did any of that come into play because you guys are, you know, of course, all from Southern California? Did that camaraderie build, or was it just kind of natural how you guys kind of came together? Because, like you said, you guys were all normal.
Yeah, I think.
Or is it just normal people in California?
I mean, maybe we're just normal in California because those East Coast, I don't know.
Right.
But,
Did you hear that? West Coast, normal. East Coast,
right.
not so much.
Not so normal.
We'll have a few comments on that.
Sure we will. Sure we will.
yeah, I mean, knowing that Rochelle was from my area made it like our bond a little tighter.
So let's go back to that challenge, and you guys had a beautiful chicken dish. You remember what it was?
It was a crispy skin chicken.
What was some
And
of
then
the magic?
there was a hash underneath. See, I wish I could remember. There was
I
a hash
remember
underneath.
it was polenta.
Yeah, we
it was
had polenta,
yeah.
and then we did a little hash because we were stuck with a vegetable that we didn't know how to incorporate. So I said, let's just dice it up and make like a quick little hash underneath. Which I wish that dish got a little bit more attention, but I mean, we got the point for it. So.
Yeah, it was an equal men, women point. Okay,
Right.
And so actually, so you win that challenge, and then in typical Hell's Kitchen fashion, like you just said, winning's great, losing sucks. So again. Let's talk about this win, but let's go back to an episode or two and tell me about maybe another win that sticks out in your mind.
Well, obviously the other win that I'm very proud of is the lobster ravioli challenge from last episode.
Yeah.
That one, I worked with Jessica.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We brought up like 6 plates, and they all were, except my first one was on the wrong plate. Stupid.
And
but-
on the guys team, they couldn't even bring up one, right? The 3
Right.
guys.
There was like 6. I guess it was all you that had the total 6 before they even brought up one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys were hustling.
Yeah.
And are you well versed in the ravioli? And
Yeah. Okay. This is the thing that frustrates me. Okay. If you have your big pile of dough, if you roll it out with the pasta roller at the right length that it's supposed to be and the right width, then you never have to go back to that machine. What the guys were doing was they were taking little balls, rolling it through, and then once those raviolis were pushed out, they'd go back and do it again. And I was like, just do your whole sheet of ravioli dough, take it to the back, and then start, cutting them out, filling them, and boiling them.
Melanie Finch throwing down culinary tidbits for you here on the Hell's Kitchen After Show, and we appreciate every one of them.
Love
because
it.
Everyone likes to cook a little bit, So
that
was a great challenge. Then you got to go to the seaside, which you're a Southern California girl, but those East Coasters, they had to be seeing another world.
Yeah, I mean, Keisha never has even been to the ocean before.
Okay, there's two Keishas in the. Okay, Keisha on the boat, and then Keisha. We got to get into the kayaking. Let's talk about
my God.
the girls having a good time. What's it like on the bus ride over? That's a long bus ride from like Culver City, down to southern Orange County, which is Laguna Niguel, and also Marina del Rey. So tell me about your adventures at sea.
Well, it's funny because on the way there was Keisha and another girl I can't remember that has never seen the ocean. So the whole way there, tell me what it's like. What is it like? I'm like, well, it's just water and it's beautiful and it's great until we get there. So the boat ride was cool. Joy got seasick, but I don't think you guys really got to see that.
Do tell.
Yeah, tell us about
She
that.
got we did like the vodka tasting and all that. I wish you guys were able to see more of that, but it was a treat. But Joy got pretty seasick, so we had to like wrap her in a blanket and put her off to the side of the boat because that was sad.
Nice.
And then the kayaking, Keisha just couldn't handle like being in the water where the sharks were. So
Was that just fancy Fox editing? There was a little lemon shark or a sand shark down there.
Yeah, that was never there.
I didn't think so either.
Dramatic
I mean, I'm
effect.
sure there was some
Right,
stuff in the
right,
water, but
right.
I mean, we didn't know about it.
Now, you mentioned Keisha, and I think she's super country, and I love her.
I know.
Because her attitude about things and how she is. I just would like to know, like, I don't know if you really got to know her very well, just as a person. Obviously, she wasn't part of the California group, that you had
Right.
formed. But, she's one of my favorites, aside from yourself, of course, on the show. Can you tell me just more about her character? Like, is she kind of how she transcends on camera? Is it the same as what you feel like in person?
Yeah, I mean, I have never met anyone like her, and that's in a good way. She's
She's your
she
age.
has an opinion, and it's a strong one, and she sticks by it. And she's my age exactly. She's really green, like in the culinary aspect. There was a lot of stuff like we needed to teach her, but she was all for it. Like she never gave up on herself. Her emotions were behind like everything she did, and like that's actually what drew me to her, like as a friend. I love like seeing that in like younger people, and I know I'm the same age as her, but
She reminds me
The passion.
of, I have a lot of family down south, and she just reminds me of like a cousin or auntie
Yes.
that I got like in Alabama or something. That's what I thought about when I thought of her. It's just amazing. But yeah, I'm glad that she kind of
Mississippi.
translates exactly. Mississippi, Alabama, they're right. Are they close?
yeah,
They're
she's
kinda
somewhere
close?
in there.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I know she deals with alligators on the daily. So.
Right.
On the daily.
Yeah.
That's serious.
You have no problem cooking alligator?
I've never cooked alligator.
What's the gnarliest thing you've cooked, Melanie?
Gosh, I don't really go out in the gnarly aspect. I mean, I'll try anything. I've tried rabbit. I've tried.
That seems pretty tame as far as Gordon Ramsay's palate. Rabbit, it seems like rabbit, pigeon.
Rabbit roulade.
Yeah, pigeon. Are you
Yeah.
ready for pigeon?
I mean, I'll try anything.
For the listening audience, the little wincing that Melanie just had when I mentioned the word pigeon, don't think you have a stomach for it, do you?
I don't know. I mean, okay, if Gordon Ramsay cooks it, I'll try it. How about that?
All
There
right.
it is. There it is.
All right. So again, we're take us to studio in Laguna Beach, South Orange County. That amazing. You just popped off about that tuna right away.
Oh yeah, Chef Craig Strong. He came out and presented all those dishes to us. Whew! I mean, that was a treat because when we're in Hell's Kitchen after dinner service, we cook for ourselves up there, and we don't really have much time before we go to bed. So we're like warming up pita bread and like dipping it into we eat crap, So
Right.
it's a really nice treat to go out and like, not even just have Craig Strong cook for us, but bring us out beautiful courses of like ahi tuna, and then we had an octopus. It was just awesome.
Wow. Okay. So now let's talk about what happens there in the dorms. What's dorm life like in Hell's Kitchen? Because we see maybe 1 minute of dorm life per
Yeah.
episode. What's it like in there?
Okay, the dorm life is the real hell. Like, I'll tell you that right now. The kitchen was like, okay, we're in the kitchen. But, like, imagine going to bed every night with 20 other people that you don't even really like or want to live with.
Or no.
Or no.
And you want to beat them.
And,
Right.
and you want to beat them. And then our bathroom, there's 2 toilets. 2. So when the guys wake up early and bomb the bathroom, guess what? I am next.
To go in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Showers, there's only 3. So, I mean, it's kind of like jail. Like, you got to run and, like, hold your spot and, like, nobody take my shower water. Sometimes the water was too cold. Sometimes they used all the hot water, so we were showering in
Really?
cold water.
So it's really like
then-
the early bird gets the worm then. basically.
Exactly. And, like, literally the worm, because if all the guys wake up before us and they bomb the refrigerator, then we have nothing to eat.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is hell.
That's personal.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah,
you ate
it's
it all.
really sucky. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
for
like
real.
I would start hiding my food in the freezer, like at the back.
Yeah.
So that I'd come and be like, yes, my sausage
It's
is still there.
That's hilarious. I actually had to do that. I grew up with 4 other brothers and sisters, so I kind of do that too.
Yes,
So
you hide
yeah,
your food.
yeah, I had to hide my food.
All right.
It's like
Quote.
a dog bearing his bone.
Quote, watching Hell's Kitchen with Melanie Finch.
Mm-hmm.
She said, again with the boobs.
Yes.
Now,
What
is
is
that,
that?
they're filming you 24/7. That has to be a little jarring.
Yeah.
In the dorms,
Yeah.
changing
Yes.
in the bathroom when you're, just trying to comb your hair. I know they say that there's a no nudity clause in Hell's Kitchen, but they're getting a little gnarly with you.
Yeah, it's like Hell's bedroom now.
That's a new show.
Where the
That's
magic
like a
really
spinoff.
happens.
That's a spinoff.
What goes through your mind when you see? They ran it twice in this
Twice.
past episode.
In case you missed it, it's right there again, just for you. I mean, I don't really care. I'm sure it's cool for other people.
That's hilarious.
Again, very, very funny. So let's kind of move on a little bit
Yeah.
into the episode. Gordon is asking you to be quiet, and it's a morning, and take us back to that day.
Well, it's probably around 6 a.m.
Really?
And again, we always get woken up at the crack of dawn, and we don't know what we're going into, right? So all we know is he's like, shh. We're like, what the hell are we being quiet for? So obviously we know it's something serious, and then he stops us right before that pass where we enter the kitchen. That's how we know something's up. And then he just lets us know that there's a wedding going down in there.
So the ceremony that's going on, you said at 6 in the morning. Is this ceremony actually taking place at 6 in the morning?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. You could tell because if you guys look at our eyes and like how we don't wear makeup, it's
Right.
because we literally just jumped out of bed.
Just got out of bed.
Here's my question. Marriage is hell, right? So why would anyone want to actually get married in Hell's Kitchen? Doesn't that set the tone for your
Yeah.
union? I mean, now you're married. Welcome to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems strange to me. I was like,
I thought it was a fake. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was like, I thought they were going to break out into dance or something like that flash mob from the first.
yeah,
I thought-
Lem loved that number, by the way.
I did. It was my favorite
flash
of
mob?
all time.
That
Favorite
was
of
cool.
all time. Yeah. I'll say though, just to piggyback off that. I mean, if you think about it though, yeah, you say marriage is. I don't think marriage is hell per se, but I will say, as a fan of Hell's Kitchen, if I had the opportunity to get married in Hell's Kitchen, why not? I'm a fan. I love Hell's Kitchen. I think it's a great show. Why not get married and then have some people kind of go through hell, preparing my food?
Melanie, Lem, here's the dichotomy. By the power invested in me, Satan, I now pronounce you man and wife. It's Hell's Kitchen. It's supposed to be a heavenly thing.
Right.
That's why I think it's kind of weird.
Okay.
Plus, you're not going to get your food on time.
Right,
Or
right.
at the same time.
How did it go with the food? With the brunch, was it the croque monsieur is a tough dish to nail.
Yeah.
And Beth was having a real hard time.
Yeah.
Can you? I want you to kind of explain because I don't know that dish. So can you break that down? What that dish is, like the ingredients and how to prepare that?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it, looks amazing, and I wanted to have as soon as I saw it, I was like, I want some right now.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm gonna
delicious.
trying to find some after the show. But anyway,
Everywhere you go, there's different takes on the croque monsieur, but the one we had was ham and cheese
Okay.
in between two bread, griddled on each side.
Okay.
And then you put more cheese on top and melt it in that pizza oven that you see at the beginning.
Okay.
And then put a sunny side
side
up
up.
egg on top and garnish with some fresh chives.
It's like a British thing, right?
It is actually.
It
is,
It
okay.
seemed, my mom's British, so I'll have to ask her about
Gordon
that.
takes offense if it's not done. That he's got the standards. What about? Let's talk. You had the better opinion, the best opinion. What about Gordon Ramsay's standards? You were there firsthand.
As far as the breakfast?
As far as anything,
It's in general.
I mean, the main thing that especially I was doing was don't take anything up to the pass if it's not ready. Like, everybody was so scared, like, oh, he's calling for it now. Run it up to the pass. And I'm like, don't be scared to say I need another minute. Like, I need time. The egg is not cooked. I'm not going to bring you an uncooked egg. Because I see it as disrespectful because you're going to send him something uncooked and then you're going to think that it'll pass his eye and he'll send it up.
snots on your wedding day.
Right. I have that quoted actually. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Snot.
funny you say that because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I agree, you know, and I see it all the time. They're like, oh, it's not ready, and they take it up, and you know it's going to get rejected. But I think in this episode, I think it was DeMarco that said, oh, just, you know, throw it up there.
Yeah, like take it up
wasn't
anyway.
ready, but he was like, just throw it up there, and of course, it wasn't ready.
Right.
So do you see a lot, like, you know, when you're on the red team, did you see a lot of, you know, people trying to force the issue and say, you know, just take it up there because he's calling for it or whatever, or were you more, you know, take the time?
Well, the thing about the red team, which we start getting the ball rolling on this, is we learn that it's okay to say we need a little more time. Like the guys are like freaking out and just trying to put the food up, but we learn that like we could buy another minute, you know? Like, oh, chef, it's not ready yet, but in 1 minute it will, because what's 1 minute really? Like in the kitchen, you know, nothing.
Right.
So he'd rather you wait that extra minute and send him up something that he wants to put out, and obviously that works for us because it's been working.
Last week, Chef Bev in studio here on the After Show was talking about the intensity of the heat coming off your equipment. Is it like a volcano?
Yeah, I mean, we have our pans on the stove like for 5 hours.
And
So when you grab it,
yeah,
you better have a towel in your hand.
it just seems like, you know, on the heat, off the heat, on the heat, off the heat. So, you know, I don't know. What's it like when Chef Ramsay gives you a compliment? What's it like when he tears your head off?
I mean, it's just so surreal being in front of him anyways as it is. So anything he says to you, you're just like, ah. But I mean, when he compliments you, it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, when I did my steak night, when I got complimented twice from him, it was like, you know.
Those weren't just like, you know, it's delicious. They're like, these are cooked beautifully. And I asked you before the show, a quick 30-second tutorial here, a little after show takeaway, if you will. 3 secrets to making an amazing steak, Melanie. What would they be?
All right, 3 secrets or 3 steps.
Yeah.
Well, the first step would be getting a grade A prime cut of whatever meat you want, ribeye, New York, filet. Make sure you season it properly. I'm talking kosher salt, fresh ground black pepper on both sides, not just one side.
Okay.
Second step would be, you know, if you're going to use the grill or a nonstick pan, whatever you want to use, make sure your temperature is right. Like, a scorching hot pan.
Screaming hot.
Or a flaming hot grill, screaming hot, because you want to get the perfect sear on both sides of the meat. I mean, imagine a filet in the oven with no sear on it, just mushy. You want that crispy outside.
Hospital food, no color.
And then I guess the third step would be to make sure your ovens are also at the right temperature. You know, 400, 425, 500, whatever it may be.
You have to finish it in the oven?
Finish it like a filet. You would finish in the oven, depending on the temperature, medium rare. And then test it before you send it up to the pass or before you send it to the guests. And I always do a hand test.
Show us.
With my fingers.
Let's see if we can get a shot of this. Okay.
I need lotion.
Lem. This is how you find out. This is how you find out.
Okay. So this is rare. Your first finger to your thumb is rare. So feel this squishy part.
That's rare. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a rare consistency. Okay.
So as you're going down and connecting each finger, you feel that part get tighter and tighter. That's how you can learn how to feel the different temps of meat without sticking a meat thermometer in there.
Inside the meat.
Poking a hole in your meat. Yeah.
Really?
And you can nail it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I'm to the point now where I can just touch something and be like, okay, that's medium or medium rare or well.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's where I see a lot of, you know, the meat station is, you know, we Lem and I talk every week on the show about how we hate to see the food go to the waste, isn't it? Doesn't it kill you?
Yeah, it's sad. Especially a Wellington, because that's like filet.
Right.
That's like the most expensive cut.
Well, that was like that scene where all those pennies came out, and it was like what was wasted.
What about your reaction to that? The first one, he goes, "Here, that's all the money you wasted."
Right.
I know.
On the one.
And then,
you have the
oh my
rain.
God! And Joy's like counting it because she's like, "I'm broke as hell." I know. It doesn't
like something you would say too.
Doesn't seem like that much money until it's laying on the floor in front of you, and then you're like, "Shit!" I'm like, "Do we get to keep that?"
Aren't you glad you didn't have to roll all those pennies?
Yeah.
That was monstrous.
Dirty little pennies. I know. Instead, we got to go out and enjoy some. What did we do?
You guys went to Laguna Niguel.
Oh, that's right.
No. You went to Marina Del Rey, I think. Was it Marina Del Rey? Were you guys boating?
No, Laguna Beach.
That's where you're kayaking. Where was the?
Where we were boating.
Right.
Where Joy got sick.
That was Dana Point.
Dana Point. A little OC for you guys.
Yeah,
okay.
that was awesome.
Oh, tell me about the confessional, because I find that to be the most interesting part of the show. It's where the contestant gets to bare their soul. So tell me, what was your approach? What was your strategy for the confessional booth?
I I mean, we were constantly doing the confessionals like throughout the day. So it was kind of like my ventilation time to like speak the truth or what I really want to get off my chest about some of the contestants or what just happened. I pretty much just, I don't know, I just vented and talked about the other contestants. It was so many during the day that I just lose track of that.
Lose track of it. I want to kind of get back into the episode and the dinner or the service, what was going on. First of all, I've never had lobster scrambled eggs. I don't know if you have, Leo, but
No.
I want to have them. So I'm going to try the first dish, and then the next day I'm going to have lobster scrambled eggs, just so you know.
Okay, cool.
Because
Good deal.
I'm ready. I'm ready for that. But when you were working and kind of doing the service, and you had this whole reception kind of situation set up after the ceremony, of course, that's going on. What station were you? Like, what were you working on?
I was doing the lobster scrambled eggs.
You were.
They didn't show much of me over there.
Sometimes no news is good news.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I never got one sent back. But I mean, it's scrambled eggs. You know, it's pretty easy.
Well, the guys seemed
Well,
like they were
obviously,
having trouble.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And Melanie spotted out something that we hadn't seen before, Len.
yes.
Little Beth Taylor artwork.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Forearm.
you know what you can do? You can just name as many chefs and as many tattoos that you can recall. I mean, we know that last week, who was Mike had the Hell's Kitchen on his back
On his
forever.
back.
What do you think of that?
I mean, I don't think anyone should get a Hell's Kitchen tattoo unless they're a winner, or they've at least gotten pretty far in the show,
Or they created the show.
or they created the
Right.
show, or they're a super fan maybe.
Right.
But I mean,
So then you can just say it. But what do you think about when you see a non-winner with a Hell's Kitchen tattoo? What goes through your mind?
that person's maybe a little weird. A little weird.
Okay, all right. So then halfway through the episode, she goes, look at Best Tattoo. And then we rewound the episode, and there it was. Go ahead and describe it for everybody who's listening.
Forearm tattoo, big red HK with the pitchfork in between.
Yeah, again, maybe one day you won't be alive. And then you can go this way, or you can go that way.
Yeah.
And if your
Maybe.
body has hell on it,
I
don't know.
asked her why she got it, and she said it was because she knew she was going on, and it was for the, that she was part of the experience, so she wanted to get the tattoo. I still would have waited till after, but
I would have waited till I created the show.
Yes,
So that's
exactly.
me personally.
Good idea.
But going back to the service, it was obviously a brunch service. So you said you had the lobster scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was, as far as Hell Kitchen standards, fairly simple. It didn't seem like there was a lot of ingredients needed or anything like that. So can you take us through that, like the service itself? It seemed like it kind of got neck and neck, because of course you guys, one thing that I noticed that I don't see a lot where you had to put up, you had to kind of match the blue team.
Right.
And can you explain that? Like how that was?
the bride and groom table. We had a match at the same time. All the other tables, we just put them up
Just put
as
them
they
up.
came.
Okay.
The bride and groom table was very, very important, obviously. So we had to synchronize with the blue team, which is really hard because you're already in your own world over there on the red side. So then trying to collaborate with them too is kind of difficult. But I mean, it's a pretty easy menu. We had the fruit bowl at first, which is cut fruit.
Right.
That's easy.
That was really what it was, right?
Literally.
Okay,
It was
that's what I
tossed
thought.
in some kind of sauce, but then just a little garnish, and that's it. Then we had the lobster scrambled eggs. Scrambling eggs, throw some lobster in there. That's it. And then a waffle, which you pour the mix into a thing and wait for it to be ready.
Yeah, but that'll die in 5 minutes, right? It's got to go out.
Yeah, it's got to go out hot. And then the croque monsieur, which of course is, that's the toughest one, I guess. I wish I was on that station.
One thing, and I just randomly wanted to ask you, is when you guys are out on the winning challenge and you don't have to do anything that day as far as, a prep or a service, do you ladies light it up with champagne, vodka?
Oh, absolutely.
Seriously? I thought there was
Absolutely.
like a curfew, or they kept you in line. Tell us.
Okay, so at night when we were at the dorms, we were allowed two glasses of wine or 2 beers before bed, right? So when we'd win a challenge and we'd go out on the town, there was no limits. So we were drinking champagne, we were getting poured glasses of cocktails. I mean, yeah.
Who gets stupid
had
with a little too much of the funny juice?
Normally I'm that one, but I kept it cool for the show at least. But nobody got really out of hand.
It seems like people will see Lem It's like true serum. Sometimes your true colors come out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
You know, I have a couple margaritas in me, and I'm going
Right.
to tell you
Yeah.
what I really think of you. Were there any of those moments off camera that we can talk about?
No, when we ate with Craig Strong out there, Sandra got a little.
She's tough,
but
isn't she?
They didn't show you guys that.
How would you describe her?
Oh God, she's just one of a kind. I mean, she's tough and she's very you know, she's got a mouth and she's very strong. But I mean, she didn't really I don't know. She didn't really impress me that much.
What's your strategy? What was your strategy all along?
My strategy was to stay at the back and just kind of keep my cool while everybody else were bickering in the front and causing all this drama. I figured if I just kept my cool while everybody else was doing that, that at the end I'll be able to come out and shine.
In this episode, the ladies won literally 2 challenges, the very beginning and then to come back again and win with the wedding ceremony. So good job there. So then we have to go to the meat hook elimination ceremony.
Yes,
you
we
know,
do.
someone's going to get the meat hook and someone's going to get their face burned off. And Lem, let's go over the nominees.
Let's do it. So we have nominees. It started off to be Gabriel and DeMarco. They were the ones that were nominated, of course, by their team. But then Gordon Ramsay, of course.
Wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hold on. This is not enough. I need somebody else. Let me think. Richard, why don't you make your way down here to the Hall of Shame? And I honestly, I won't say that I was a surprise to me because of how he was in service. I just want to say that quote really quick about DeMarco said he's been scrambling eggs every Saturday morning with his sister since he was 8 years old. And they were perfect. That was awesome. But yeah, they were the nominees that were up. And of course, you know, they kind of had to do their spiel. And of course, someone had to go, and that was...
Well, let's go to you in that moment, Melanie, when you're safe with your team. What's it like being in that perch? Describe it, watching the men facing the fire.
Well, it's really nice to be sitting down during elimination instead of standing up. Excuse me. I mean, we never know either who's going to go, so it's always a surprise for everybody. I don't know. I always imagine myself as that person that's standing up, and like Gordon gives you like 30 seconds to explain why you should stay in Hell's Kitchen. Nerve-wracking, but I felt bad for DeMarco because I saw him up there, you know, 3 times in a row.
I would love to get his point of view on this whole thing. And what's that, Marissa? What? He's on the phone?
Oh, no.
Oh, not the culinary Jesus. The
culinary Jesus.
DeMarco.
Hey,
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
DeMarco, what's up?
What's up, Melanie?
Hey, say Leo here, and say hi to Lem.
Hey, Lem, you guys are my favorite. I was just watching you guys, and I got a phone call.
Word, that's what's up, man.
Well,
I love the show.
Well, we loved you bearing your heart, buddy. Tell me about that confessional session really quick.
Which one?
When you kind of gave it over, or no, it was deliberating with the guys in the blue team in the dorms about who's going to be nominated. You really touched a lot of people with that speech, bro.
Yeah, you know, my father left me when I was younger, and, you know, I just kind of wanted to tell them why I was there, just to prove to the world that I could do it. And I thought it would work, but it didn't.
No, you made it that far, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I made it pretty far. It was a great experience, and it just sucked being up there all the time. I don't know what it's like to watch other people up there.
DeMarco, when you were kind of on the firing squad, if you may, and you were up there with the other 2 guys, Gabriel and Richard, can you just tell me or tell the viewers that kind of what was going in your head? Because you had been up there a couple other times. I don't know if it felt the same, if it's always the same when you're up there. Can you just kind of shed light on that?
Well, you know, this time I felt like I had a chance to stay because it wasn't me for once that you know was the cause of us losing. So I was kind of a little bit shocked when I did have to leave. I thought my time was coming soon, but I was shocked there because you know the scrambled eggs is what made us lose.
Right.
And like we said earlier, I was making scrambled eggs since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, we just quoted you on that.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtle scrambled eggs. The bomb.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I mean, everybody could scramble eggs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, you're on your culinary journey, buddy. So tell me what you got out of Hell's Kitchen being there.
I mean, you know, Melanie could say too. I mean, we worked with a world-class chef, like Michelin star winner, just awesome. learned a lot. Learned a lot. Than you don't think you're gonna. You think you know a lot, but when you go with Chef Ramsay, I mean, you're really learning fast too. You're trying to learn fast. But I mean, it's just a great experience. And it made me just a better chef.
What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment? Going to San Francisco, I'd have to say. That's pretty awesome. I've never been out west until the show, and then going to San Francisco is really cool.
Epic, was that the name of the place? Or
yeah, Epic Roast House.
Yeah. Wow, that was a great win for you guys. Well, listen, buddy, from all of us, Melanie, do you have a question or anything for DeMarco?
No, but I miss you, and I hope you're doing well. And if you ever want to come out to LA, I always have a guest room open for you to stay. We can take on LA with each other.
Oh yeah, I miss you too, Melanie. We all have to get together. It's been a long time.
DeMarco,
Yeah.
I have one more question for you. Do you still refer to yourself as Culinary Jesus? That's all I need to know.
Of course. Of course.
Well, you know what? Easter's coming up, and maybe the Culinary Jesus will rise again.
Resurrection.
And make scrambled eggs.
Hey, we love you, buddy. Thank you so much for being and for calling in, and best of luck to you. Keep in touch, okay?
Thanks. Love you guys too. I'm going to keep watching the show.
Awesome.
Take care.
Hey, give us your Twitter real quick.
My Twitter is @Chef DeMarco. Real easy.
@Chef DeMarco. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. See you, Mel.
Take care. See ya.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye, buddy. How great. I mean, we are so
awesome.
lucky to, we're Hell's Kitchen geeks. You're a Hell's Kitchen competitor.
Right.
So, this is exactly where I want to be. So is it, of course it's tough when your friends are leaving.
Yeah, it's sad to you get a bond with everybody, over time. I mean, we live together, so it's sad to see him leave. Yeah, he was cool too. I really liked him.
Yeah, he seems like the nicest guy ever. We appreciate the call in. I have a quote here from Melanie Finch from earlier in the season. Are you ready for this?
Oh gosh.
I'm imagining people naked when someone yells at me. Did you actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, it helps. I used to do that. Actually, I always do that. I mean, if you're ever stressed out or under pressure, just whoever's yelling at you, just imagine them naked, and all of a sudden it's not so bad.
Huh. All right. So
Try it.
Are chefs as heated as Chef Ramsay in the workplace?
Oh my God, yes.
Really?
The chefs at my work are,
Yeah.
they yell too, and still to this day, I'm like, okay.
So if I wanted to get a meal cooked by a competing Hell's Kitchen contestant, where would I go in Marina Del Rey?
Well, you would go to my restaurant. It's Cast and Plow at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Marina Del Rey. We just opened a brand new restaurant, so we have a fancy menu and delicious food.
Nice.
And delicious cocktails.
Do you have lobster scrambled egg?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say I can make it for you.
I mean, but if we came in as, could you do something like?
Oh my God, you don't even know. All you have to see is our breakfast menu and be like, I don't even want lobster
Oh,
scrambled
it's
eggs anymore.
that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how is it around the workplace that you're currently on Hell's Kitchen?
It's really cool. Every time I walk into work, I mean, I work in a hotel, so there's like hundreds of employees. So every time I walk in, high fives. We saw you last night on TV.
That's dope.
They're really supportive. It's really cool.
What's your end game? The perfect gig that you would want to have in the culinary world?
I mean, I kind of want to I want to create a brand, and I also want to travel, and I also want to be on another. I want everything. I want to be on I want to eventually have my own show, if possible.
Sure.
For the younger chefs.
So if Top Chef were to call.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, maybe I don't feel that confident as far as Top Chef. I don't have too much experience under my belt, but I mean, it's something more along the lines of like farm to table, like farmers market. Follow me to the farmers market, and other young chefs to watch me travel the world and show.
Chef Holly Ugaldi, the season 7 champion. She's all farmer, farm to table. But I think I just heard something, and I just want to break it down. You said Top Chef might be too tough. Are you saying the level of competition in Top Chef beats what we see on Hell's Kitchen? It's okay. There's no right and wrong answer.
I mean, you have to know a lot more for Top Chef. Like, your experience has to be out the door. I mean, Hell's Kitchen is a lot more stressful, I would say, for sure. But, I mean...
Because of the dynamic of the show.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know until I've tried both. But I feel like you need a lot more experience and a lot more years under your belt to try out for Top
I
Chef.
think, Melanie, you could do whatever you wanted to do.
Well,
I want to just make note. I noticed while we were watching, you have this little tattoo, and it looks like it's a knife and fork.
Yeah.
How long ago did you get that, and what inspired that? Like, obviously, you're a chef, so.
Yeah, I got it 6 months before I went to Hell's Kitchen, so a while ago now. Inspired, I always wanted a fork and knife somewhere on me, and I figured why not right here. I have a spoon on this side too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the complete set.
Yeah.
Gotta have it all.
Love it. You got a table mat on your back, or I'm just
There's
asking.
a plate on the back of my
Oh,
head,
okay, there it is. Cool.
Melanie Finch, culinary rock star, one of the 16 chefs competing. Thank you so much for coming in on the AfterBuzz show.
Thanks for having me.
Will you put out the word to all the chefs? Hey, this is where it is.
Yes, I will. AfterBuzz TV all day, every day.
Yes.
I will link it later.
How do we find you?
Well, you could find me on Twitter at Melanie Finch HK, or on Facebook. Just search my name, Melanie Finch. I got a fan page for everybody to like.
Great. Will you come back on the show?
I will definitely come back on the show. Will you invite me back on the show?
I think that's a simple yes.
I would just request some lobster scrambled eggs, like if you could bring them if you come back on the show. I mean, I'm just saying because you're really good at making them, and I mean, it would just be a treat for all of us.
We
course.
are not above bribery.
Right.
Okay.
Just saying. Just saying.
We love that. Lem,
saying.
how do I find you, my friend?
Oh, man. Well, when I'm not at AfterBuzz TV, you can find me online at The Poet Saint, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
The Poet Saint.
That's right.
And you can find me, Leo Quinones, on Twitter at Movie Interview. Thank you, RoarUSA.com, for the duds. We appreciate that. And don't forget, iTunes. We love you guys. We love the reviews.
Yes, we do.
And thank you so much for just sharing it with your friends. And thank you, Marissa, our amazing producer.
Yeah,
Patrick,
Marissa.
thank you as well. And again, we love you and we love Hell's Kitchen. That's why we'll see you next week right here for the Hell's Kitchen After Show. See you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.